All right, so it is the beginning of day 2 and we stayed a little bit later last night than anticipated, but we're gonna walk you through what we did, so let's check it out.
So I'm just greasing up the idler arm bearings here, just packing them in.
So we're gonna tighten this up all the way till it bottoms out, like this. And once it bottoms out, you're gonna back it off to the first cotter pin hole. Put your cotter pin in there. Good to go. Now my ears are ringing. Christian, you grab a jack and we'll jack her up. Christian, sit on the frame horn. Straddle it though. I'm a frame horn, dude. There you go. Keep going, baby. We're gonna be there, we're there. Christian, what are you trying to do, hurt me? Okay, do the jumpy. There you go,
Yeah.
We're in. We're in on that one. Let me put some cotta pins in there.
Oh, your cotter pin?
Yep, whenever you're ready. No biggie, no biggie.
Well, this is the all air conditioning system. It's pretty reduced, a small size unit that you can fit in anywhere under the dash. So I'm getting ready to prep some hoses, crimp them, and get it on there.
Long one goes down, bro. Kids. Kids these days. Here.
Well, it came out like that.
Put a new one in. Kids. Kids these days. Oh, there we go, Christian. And then trim it. Just like that, boom, good. Now cut it.
I don't
like it like that.
I like to tuck them under.
I don't like it like that.
Okay, I'll cut it right there.
We'll connect that. And then with these nice little cup links that they put on here, makes it really easy to align the car.
We're going to install the flexible brake line to the rear end and the hard brake lines along the rear end to the then flexible brake lines that are going to attach to the calipers. So that's going there, that's going up here. There you go.
Perfect.
Yeah, so right now we are getting the brake lines put on. A couple little clamps that we had drilled out before. I'm just getting these installed, but this is actually a pre-bent brake line kit we're using. Makes the plumbing a little easier.
Okay.
Okay, in this application, we've welded these brackets on. These are normally a bolt-on bracket.
Okay.
So it's gonna make our life a little easier as far as the installation goes because we've already spent the time getting it squared up.
When putting the rotor on there, I like to put a couple nuts on there just to hold it in place so I can put the caliper on there and make sure everything's centered right. The kit comes with some shims for the caliper bracket just in case it's not perfectly centered. That way you can just shim it off because it's not a floater caliper. It is rigid mounted, so you want to make sure it's centered. So these little registers insert into here. That's what keeps the caliper centered on the bracket. Put the Allen bolts through. We'll go ahead and tighten all that up. And we'll check and make sure the caliper's centered on the rotor, and if so, we'll go to the other side and button it up. So what we're looking for is the pads to be centered on each side of the rotor. Everything looks really good. So now I can move on to the other side.
Yeah.
So we're using this O-ring instead of our cork gasket. That way the fuel pump drops a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna help it lay a little
Further
lower,
down.
a little closer to the tank, give us a little more clearance on the floor of the trunk.
So there you go. It's all lined up. Okay, we put that on there. All right, so now that we got our caliper centered up, make sure your bleed screw's up top. You'll never get your air out if it's in the bottom.
All right, so I'm laying out fuel lines now, going from the tank up to the engine bay. That will complete the fuel system. After that, we gotta get the accessory drive installed on the engine, and then we can mate the two up. That's the trans and engine. Before that, you gotta get the clutch installed, so we still got a whole day's of work, so let's get busy.
Making sure we're doing things right. Back here. I think that's pretty good right there. That's a lot better. Awesome. Yeah, and everything else is tight.
All right, so we're ready to get our Holley Serpentine accessory drive kit installed on our LT engine from GANDRUD Chevrolet. First thing I did was remove the stock water pump. We're not gonna use that. The Holley water pump comes equipped with all the bracketry you're gonna need for your alternator, power steering, and your AC pump. So that being said, I've taken a sensor out of the stock water pump, that's the water temp sensor, reinstalled it. This here is for the steam line that would be on an LS. This does not have that, so I plugged it up with an 1/8 inch MPT plug. So now we can get started. All right. This is gonna have to go on this side. And let's see if I can do this on my own without flipping anything over. Oh man, they make that easy and nice. Okay.
Up more. Okay, down.
There you go. You want to make sure that slides in and out really smooth, or you're gonna have a really hard time getting your transmission's input shaft into there. You just keep going around these little by little. You don't want to cinch them all down at the same time, because as you watch these fingers, as I tighten them, see the fingers move?
All right, so Jay got the clutch in. I got the scatter shield to the block, and the scatter shield will attach to the T56 transmission, and the scatter shield protects you just in case this blows up. It'll protect the driver inside and the passenger.
Well, why might that blow up?
Tell him, Danny.
What if you over rev the motor? If you're racing and you hit way too much RPM, you do something dumb and stupid? That's right. If you, for some reason, or you got a lot of horsepower, and you drop the clutch at 10,000 RPM, who knows? That'll protect you.
Well, we don't have to worry about that with this engine. Put it in gear, dude. It's in neutral. Oh, just kidding.
There we go.
So it needs to be this length? Is that why you traded that out?
No, that is the right length though.
These are called instructions. We're day 2. We're late in the day. We found some instructions. We thought we might read something. I'm going to put it in gear so we can force it on the spline.
We're in.
Those.
That one we get.
One more over here.
All right, I'm gonna let you take the lead on this, all right, Danny?
Up.
Hold on, James. Let me get my, there you go. Are you in over there?
Yeah, I'm in.
All right, go ahead. All right.
Bring it down for Gary's side.
Oh, you got one already?
We're ready with that.
Okay, that's a lot better.
Lock her down.
Now I'm measuring to the flat, right?
Yeah, you go to the flat. So I got 49 and a half, almost exactly right there.
All right, so we are wrapping up day 2. Engine and trans is in the chassis. Clutch is all set up. Measured for a drive shaft. Plumbing is done on the fuel system. All but one line. Take us 2 minutes tomorrow. We're gonna cut out a little early tonight. We stayed late last, so let's get some rest and get out of here.